Hello, today I'm going to show you how to draw this simple cabin. The first drawing I give you has just the outline of the cabin and the interior walls. Note that the exterior walls are all 6 inches thick and the interior walls are 4 inches thick. So we're going to go through what's the best way to do this project, in my opinion. There's always multiple ways, and when we're done, it doesn't matter how you ended up there as long as your dimensions and everything line up. So let me go to my AutoCAD now, and we will start the project. So you're seeing my AutoCAD file, and I'm going to open a new file. Again, I had already changed the background from black to white. I'm going to turn off the display grid on the lower left. I'm going to type in my units to make sure I'm architectural. I'm going to say OK. So if you look at the drawing that we had, the outside of the cabin was 25 feet wide and 16 feet deep. So I'm going to go up and grab a rectangle, and I'm going to hit dimensions, and I'm going to do 25 feet and then 16 feet. I'll zoom out. And I can check my measurements to make sure I've got the correct measurements. 25 by 16, that's correct. So then I'm going to offset the outside walls 6 inches. Offset 6. You know what? I didn't have my numlock key on, so that's why it wasn't working. So 6, return. There's my outside walls. Now I need to do the inside walls. The first one is 6 feet from this outside edge. If I type in 6 feet, this is an exploded, this is a polyline, so it's not going to really work. So what I need to do is I need to explode this line, these lines, and make them separate lines. And then from the inside, I'm going to offset 6 feet in one direction and 6'6" in the other direction. When I do 6'6", I can write 6'6". I don't have to type the inches in. And there's my first room. Now the walls are 4 inches thick, as I said, so I'm going to offset. And what I saw most people making the problem was they didn't offset to the outside of that dimension. So now I've got that wall in place. I'm going to go ahead and trim the bottom of this up. And then from this wall over is 3 feet and then 4 inches for the thickness of the wall. So I'm going to offset that wall 3 feet or 36 inches. Oops, I did it in the wrong direction, so just undo, offset. It remembers my last distance. And then I'm going to offset that 4 inches again right away. Once you get in the habit of using the keypad on the right-hand side, it'll be much quicker. Then I'm going to extend those lines down, and then I'm going to come back and trim things up. Come in here and trim. We don't, wherever walls meet, we want to have it open. And we'll see why a little bit later. Sometimes in construction documents, you wouldn't do this, but for design documents, you would. So now I'm going to check my measurements. So this is 6 by 6'6", and then here we're 3'4", and I can come up here. So the 3'4" is the key. That's the one most people were missing. So then I should be 17.8 across at the top and 15 feet high. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do File, Save As. I'm going to save it to my desktop. And I'm going to call this cabin demo. And I'm going to save. Notice the name changed up here at the top. It now says cabin demo drawing. That lets me know I did correctly change it. Then I'm going to just stop sharing this, and I'm going to show you the second drawing that we're going to work on. So this is the second drawing. It's rotated, but I think you get the gist. So what we did was we drew all the walls. Now we need to do all the door and window openings. And what I would do is have this sitting next to you as you follow along with my drawing. You'll notice that there's always an offset and then the window opening is specified. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do this whole string along here. And you'll see why, how it makes it pretty easy. So I'm going to go back to my AutoCAD drawing. And I'm back to my AutoCAD drawing. And what I want to do first is this string across the top. And I think you'll see why when I get it done. So we're going to offset. The first one, the window is 4'2" from the edge. So we'll do our offset key. We'll do 4'2", return. And it's from this outside edge. I'm going to now trim this out and erase this other line just to get it out of the way. So now I've got this edge of window 1, and the window is 2 feet wide. So I'm going to offset 2 feet or 24 inches. And then the next offset is 1'2". So if I hit return, if I enter, hit return, I can repeat offset, or I can go back up to the command. Now I want to do 1'2". And then the next one is the door, which is 3 feet. So I offset. I like typing in inches because I can just go much quicker. So it's a 3-foot door, and then it was offset 7'2" to the next window, and then offset 48 or 4 feet. So there's all my windows there. Now I just come and trim them. And you can see why I trimmed the first line up here right at the beginning, because it was made it easier to not have extra lines all along. Now I'm going to go down in this lower corner, and there's a window down here, and it's 2'7", offset 2'7" from the edge. Again, I'm going to trim this up before I get too many lines messed up in here. Erase the other line. And then I'm going to offset 4 feet or 48 inches. And then I'm going to trim that window opening. Now I'm going to do the string along the bottom here. Same kind of concept. I'm offsetting 1'8" from this edge. And then I'm going to trim this down, zoom in here, and then I'm going to offset 3 feet or 36 inches. So I like 36 inches if I know the inches, because that's one less keystroke instead of 3. It's a little bit easier. My hand stays on the keyboard. Then I'm going to offset 6 feet. And then 3 feet. I lost my 6 feet. The next window is 11 inches from that point. And then we're 24 inches. And then we are 11 inches. And then we are 6 feet. I'm gonna come in here again and trim everything. I forgot to trim that wall there, so I'm going to grab that. Okay, I have one opening on this side for a large sliding glass door. So that is offset 18 inches, 1'6". And then I'm going to offset 7 feet. Then I'm going to come back and trim. Now this time I didn't trim before I did the second offset because it didn't really matter. It wasn't a long string. Now I just have 2 interior doors to do. This door is 10 inches over from this edge. So offset 10. And then offset, the door is 2'6" or 30 inches wide. So 30 is easier to do than 2'6". That's one less keystroke. I come and trim that. And then I've got a door to the bathroom that is 6 inches off of this wall right here. So I'm going to offset 6. And here I need to extend that line into the wall so that I can offset it again and trim my opening. Then I'm going to offset 30 inches again. Now I'm just going to trim that down. I'm going to do Control S to save. And I ended up with a line out here. I'm going to delete it. Actually, I'm not going to delete this line. I want to show you something. If you do Zoom, Z, and then type E for extents, it shows you all of the lines within the frame. So it brings them right up to the edge. So now if I delete that and I do Zoom extents again, you'll see I don't have anything on the outside. So that's my drawing to date. So save that, and we'll work on the doors and the windows at the next class.